Okay. Alright, sorry about that. We had to run to the store. And things and stuff happened, and then when we got back, I needed to make dinner. We were hungry. It had been a while since we had last eaten. It's probably way too much fluff there, but... Okay. So, we're gonna get back to it here. It would help if I, got this out and ready. We should be live. Twitch isn't giving me... the full indication that we are. Alright, so yeah, we had to run to the store real quick earlier. We were able to go and grab something, and I was able to price something real quick, and P-Butt is being P-Butt, getting into all kinds of trouble, apparently. But good news is that we have obtained the styrofoam base and all of the things that we need for the gingerbread house thingy. Well, no, not all of the things. We've obtained the styrofoam base, which it's gonna be really hard to get the whole thing in frame for when we're attaching it to the base, because it's a little big for, I think it'll fill up the entire workspace here. But we'll be working on the pieces one by one, and that will have plenty of room to do. So we have the base, and I grabbed the styrofoam cone. That's all I grabbed today. Walmart didn't have embroidery floss. I really wasn't expecting them to, but I was kind of like, well, maybe we should check. No, they didn't. Not, at least not our Walmart. Why is it not showing this? Oh, that option is apparently offline. Okay. Bitrate wasn't showing, and I'm like, we are actually live, right? This isn't like a phantom live, right? And when we left to go run to the store real quick, the sky looks like really ominous, and we're like, oh, what's happening? Are we finally gonna get some rain? We got into Walmart, and came out. We weren't in there that long. Like 15 minutes tops. Maybe, maybe 15. And when we came out, it was pouring. By the time we got home, it was dry as a bone. And it never apparently rained here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, we never got rain at home. Like, really? We drove through some vicious blinding rain on the way home. I'm like, oh man. Like, we really need this. Yay. And then found out there wasn't any to be had. I'm telling you, he wants cat TV. Or he wants to eat John Oliver. I'm not sure which. He's like clawing at Russell's second monitor. He has food in the other room. So he's just being a little spastic boy. A little spastic cat. Alright. Now, what do we want to do with these guys back here? So, alright, well, let's take care of this guy first. So this is a new color for me. This is part of the paint box acrylics, but I think these two shades might kind of work with each other, kind of, sort of, maybe. Let's see what this shade looks like when we get it down here. Like, let's start with that. See if we can even really see it. What is poking me? Okay. So, I mean, as always, we're gonna have to clean up the raw edges a bit there. More than likely. Work on getting this guy all nice and settled here. Oh, I am full from dinner. Probably ate too much. But, you know, it was like pizza, so how could you not eat too much? What's he doing? Does he just want attention?
He's playing with everything on the desk.
Oh. He's in one of those moods.
Yeah, he is.
He's in that mood. Or he just wants to destroy the whole house. I was hoping this color would kind of work here, but I'm not sure it's gonna do something here. I mean, it might. And I kind of see it doing a little something something. Shade kind of reminds me of like eucalyptus. Can't remember what it was called. Something slate, I think. Was it slate moss or mossy slate or I'd have to look up the email because I don't remember the color. I didn't write the color name down for this one. Like, the only one I didn't do it on. Everybody else, I wrote the little color on the card. I had to use my my confirmation email or my packing slip because the names of the colors are not actually printed on the labels for this yarn. The colors are like the only color acknowledgement is the number of the color, but not the actual name. So I found that interesting. I mean, I guess it saves a little bit of ink. Excuse me. I mean, I guess. Alright. I mean, it's not a bad little color. Cat is crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, he's just gonna be meowing in the background today. That's just the way that's gonna go. Because the boy is in a mood. He's that desperate? I don't know.
Oh my god, it's like a toddler. I'm jingling the keys.
Yeah. He's in a mood.
Jesus, you fucking weirdo. God, you're so weird about this.
He's been getting more moody. That's for
Did
certain.
we never actually get any rain?
No.
We just got some of the thunder.
Yeah. The thunderstorm like formed on the other side of us and went up through Fayetteville and towards Johnson and stuff. It never actually hit us because that storm ended up with a severe thunderstorm warning on it and we never got it. Which sucks because we really needed that rain. Something terrible. My body needed that rain just to relieve the pressure from this pressure system trying to work its way through. I think we still might have another chance, maybe, at some rain coming up here later tonight. Maybe. Maybe, kind of, sort of. I mean, one can hope, but don't really know if that's going to materialize into existence. But we will see. Oh, when we ran to Dollar Tree earlier, we were checking out and I was like, oh look, it's a fidget bracelet. And I never really played with these pop thingies before, and I didn't really quite understand them. I'm like, why is that satisfying? And then I started playing with it a couple times, and I'm like, oh, I get it. And I was like, yeah, I like that. Russell was like, put it on the thing. And I'm like, no, it's okay. He's like, woman, just put it on the thing. I'm like, yeah, because I was using the little Debbie zebra, but I almost ripped his one ear off, so I kind of need a replacement. And he's not as fun to squish. He said he was like the little Debbie zebra that we got from the little Debbie, I guess they call it an outlet store, where they've got like their cheaper price, I guess mother company stuff, because it's more than just Little Debbie's, Pepperidge Farms, and a couple of other things in there. Whoever falls under, with them, they're all kind of grouped together. And so cheap snacks. We go there once in a while, not all the time. Like maybe 3 times a year, if that. And we can come out with like a month's worth of snacks for like $10. Have to pace yourself, of course. But not terrible. So I'm just making sure everybody is good and tacked down. So here's the thing. Do we want to, like, that might look okay layered on top, right? Or should I grab the hunter green? I think I'm gonna grab the hunter green, because this green sitting on it, I'm not sure if it's talking to me or not. And I know that sounds strange for an art thing to talk to you. This is why I try to have at least some amount of colors already pre-fluffed and ready to go. Oh yeah, that's better. Those guys go a lot better, so I'm probably... Can I get this in with these finger thingies on? Probably gonna have to go back over with that lighter dusty green. Just to kind of give it a little bit more proper pulled apart shading. Okay. So again, just scraping those fibers out before we start. Really trying to anchor them down in place. Okay. Let's get all of this worked into here. So like we were saying earlier, don't really want to rush your trees in here. Want to take it a little bit slower. I am going to pop that up just a little bit. Oh my gosh, I ran my comb, well, one of the combs I have, over the mat, and I was picking up some gray fuzz, but I was really picking up a lot of multicolored fuzz from all the fluffy fiber that's trying to become one with our base mat here. At least it cooled down pretty considerably once that bit of rain there moved through. So that was hopeful. Hesitant to really go with this dark of a green in here. It's like I really didn't want to completely obscure our tree trunks and stuff, but this is working. Kinda wish I had put this color on first, but oh well. Nothing for it now. But we can still highlight that a bit with just putting that dusty green back down over it. You okay?
Uh-huh. Setting up my test.
Oh, okay.
Turns out the fake tea lights actually produce a shocking amount of light in the dark.
That's what I was trying to tell you, because when I put it in the dark area, it didn't really seem that bad, so...
Yeah, it reflects fairly well inside the bottle, so...
Well, that with the water and stuff.
I'm going to try one of each and see what happens.
One of each?
I'm going to try the flashlight on one and the...
Oh, that flashlight needs a new battery.
No, it's good enough for now.
Oh, because it was
it doesn't need to be that bright, so I'll just use the old batteries. It's fine.
No, I meant it was like flickering out like it was gonna...
Yeah, it seemed fine.
Okay. Sorry, we're trying an experiment with something. See if we can get something to work. Cheaper than trying to actually go and buy something else that we might not need to. Because, you know, money right now is pretty tight. And the money that we spent today was stuff that we had already put away for it to be spent today. Well, that, and I owe the husband $10 when I get my Twitch payout. So spent like $10 between the styrofoam base for our gingerbread house setup, and I got a cone for our Christmas tree. The only thing that I'm like not sure what I'm gonna do is that the the top of the cone is flat. So, maybe I can, like, come up with, like, a little star to put on the top of that or something. You know, I might be able to do that, because I think in the ocean stencils I have, like, a starfish. I can probably use that as, like, a base, so don't, you know, make it look completely stupid. So at least kind of feels like a star. But man, Walmart was wiped out on their felt squares. Holy shit. I don't know what the fuck happened. But like...
That's me.
Huh? No.
Oh.
But that aisle was just massacred. I don't know if they were just out, or if suddenly somebody came in there in the past couple of days and just... Like, I hope they don't get rid of them, because then I'm definitely going to have to keep going to Joann's. They've redid their art aisle, though. They had tubes of acrylic paint, which they had not had before. Like, okay, they didn't have the individual tubes of acrylic paint that I had noticed in that particular Walmart the last time we were there. That I was in that aisle. That whole aisle looks completely redone. And I think they moved it around a little bit again. I swear, every time we go into our super center, everything is moved. Like, oh yeah, we'll keep... And, you know, they do it on purpose. And that's what fucking pisses me off. I know they do it on purpose, because I've worked retail before. They do it constantly to so that way you have to wander to find it, and then you're more likely to impulse buy seeing something else on your way to get the other thing. Like, I know why they fucking do it, but it pisses me off because I just want to get to the thing. I know where the thing is, and this is not cute when I'm in a hurry and you're wasting my time. I just want to run in, get the thing, and go. It's not helpful. And then half the time when you ask an employee, they're like, I don't know, aisle 6. Kind of infuriating. I could have found aisle 6 myself, and you're not even sure if it's on aisle 6. I think you're just telling me that to make me go away. We actually did not have numbered aisles in AC Moore for that reason. We had to physically walk a customer, if they asked us to help them, to the thing that they were having trouble finding. Which, I mean, posted its own little subsect of potential issues when you get with somebody that, you know, ends up having you do their entire shopping list, and it's like, I understand I need to help you, but at the same point, you still need to kind of wander on your own and try to find some of this stuff. I mean, if you've actually looked and can't find it, then cool, but I'm being paid to register, so I'm gonna have to leave you here. Like, we were actually told, you know, you have to hand them off to somebody else if you're being paged. I'm like, ugh. dun. So I think now we'll grab some more of our dusty green color. Just kind of see about getting that put in back in over top. Just to kind of see what it's gonna do for us here. I'm kind of hoping it does one thing specifically. I'm not sure if it's gonna. But we will see. I mean, kinda. It's kinda giving that multi-shaded look a little bit. Okay. Alright, give me 1 second, you guys. I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Need to go take care of something real quick. Okay. Now, where were we? Back to our stuff here. Okay. So, let's get our dusty green again. Alright. So yeah, I kind of like this color combo in here together. I mean, that seems pretty decent. This guy feels like he's shaping up to be a pretty thick boy here. At least in this section. We really filled that sky in, didn't we? That's okay, though. That will be extremely helpful in the end. Even if it doesn't seem like it now. Trying to make sure that we get all of our loose strandy guys here. Don't want anybody becoming an issue. Alright, so how'd everybody's day go? Hope it went alright. Alright, so we are continuing on with our project from earlier, from before we had to put a pin in it, had to put a pause, and we're back to the same project. Again, if you want to watch it on your own, we're following along slowly with the Joy of Painting Season 3 from Bob Ross painting tutorials, except instead of real paint we are using yarn fluff, and yeah, so we got that going on. We are needle felting it instead of using a paintbrush. So this is called Melon Sorbet in that paint box, Simply Chunky. So we'll get that worked in here. Get a little shrubby guy. Now he might be a little hard to see at first, so like I said, right now we're going a little bit slower with our trees and bushes here. because I want to make sure that we don't overdo, because it's easy to overdo, and it's not like we can't exactly use a seam ripper to undo it. Like, we overdo, then we're kind of stuck with it. Or we can attempt to like put new foliage down over top of it, like we redo the sky or in that section and then try to redo it, but that would be a bit of a colossal pain. So if we can avoid doing that, that would be super great. And this is my first time really putting the new paint box yarns through their paces, because I had not used them before. Previously. Sorry, I've got yellow fuzz from our base felt guy here. Just kind of being all over the place. Alright. So let's put this guy, give him a bit more color. Yeah, I'm so mad we never got a piece of that rain. I'm hoping it backfills in later. Because Russell needs to cut our grass either tomorrow night or Wednesday, because we sometimes help the neighbor, because both of our properties are the same depth and there's no fence between the yard, and she's got some medical issues, so we sometimes help her and cut her side of the backyard. Sometimes Russell will cut the front too, but she picked up an electric, I think it's an electric lawnmower that she sometimes uses. She was out there trying to do it earlier today in the heat. I was like, what is she doing? She's gonna end up keeling over out there. And then she tells Russell that she's having some kind of yard sale on Thursday. And he's kind of like, oh. So she's like, I need to be out here now doing this. And I'm like, I would have waited until Tuesday at least, but that's just us, I suppose. Alright, so now this guy, I think we need to kind of, maybe we can cover the bottom half of his trunk here. Yeah, so it looks like I'm going to have to go to Joann's to pick up the felt squares and the embroidery floss that I need. And I'll see if they have the 2 shades of yarn that I'm looking for, just so I don't have to order it. They had a really nice shade on Lovecraft, but I really don't want to pay $5 shipping for 2 balls of yarn if I can figure it the fuck out in front of me, so. And I did see that Joann's DMC floss is the same price as it is on Lovecraft, so I'll just get that. The paint box floss was only 5 cents cheaper, so I'll just eat the 5 cents per color and just do the DMC at Joann's then. It's not that huge of an issue. Uh-oh, we got a dreamy Momo making an appearance. He barks and growls in his sleep. I never know if there's a cat trying to climb in the dog bed to stand on him because he burrows under the blankets. Like, I don't know if they realize he's there. And Cow's an asshole, and Cow will just climb in and stand on top of him anyway. So, sometimes when I hear him starting, I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, who's standing on Momo? Because he was growling pretty hardcore the one day. I was like, buddy, what is the matter? And he wouldn't stop, so I finally had to get up to go see what cat was bothering him. And lo and behold, he was just dreaming. There was no cats around him. Nobody that even looked like they had been remotely around him. I was like, oh, pupper. Alright, so we'll get this kind of worked in back here. Because I feel like something should be sitting back here in this little gappy spot. It just doesn't feel quite right being empty. Okay. I'm not sure how filled in we're gonna get this one. But I feel like we need to at least try to do a little something with it here. Even if it does look a little bit like a scraggly guy. I mean, a lot of your bushes can probably be dubbed scraggly at times. Oh boy, that's a thick one. This one's gonna need definitely no glass on this one if you try to frame him. I don't think it's gonna go very well. Alright, okay, so this section, I kinda wanna do the orange, but at the same time, I'm a little hesitant, because he's a wild and crazy guy. Look at that. That's a lovely orange. Very lovely. So we will work on getting this guy in. Don't know if we're gonna mix it with some of the yellow maybe. 'Cause, I mean, we've got the yellow right in there, but we will see. What this looks like. I have a feeling they're looking for the hammer. My mom just came in. And then had Russell go out into the kitchen, so I'm not sure what's up. But I moved the hammer earlier to a different spot in the kitchen when I was using it. I didn't think it was really hiding all that much, but then again, maybe he needed her to do something else, or she needed him to do something else. I guess that's a possibility. So I will say, when you've got the fiber stretched out on some of the shades, you can definitely see the variation in the dyeing that happened. You alright? Okay, I swore I felt footsteps through the floor like he was walking back in. And I'm the only one in here. Cool, cool. That don't just freak you the fuck out. I don't know what does. Alright. That is a lovely orange, though. 100%. I was afraid it was a little too bright. But I'm glad we picked that up. So, I mean, it's not quite an Indian yellow. It feels a bit darker for that. But, definitely feels close. Like the orange side of Indian yellow. Must be a new ant colony. I'm gonna have to get the new ant bait. Either that or make some. Oh, hey, Mrs. Rock Guru. Color reminds you of Bob Ross's hair. How goes your contest, character? Last I saw you were at 13. Sorry I'm not streaming the contest this time. Iron Man kind of makes me twitchy. And, I really want to get that shaman sorted. So that's gonna take a while. And I think I only have 4 bars of XP done on her level right now, so I'm a little behind. I didn't really have time to work on her yesterday. By the time I got done, everything alright?
Yeah.
What did she need?
She needed to dig for her old ass frozen chicken wings.
Oh. Yeah, so I'm a little bit behind, but I'm hoping that tomorrow maintenance goes quickly so that I can get back in there. 14, just over halfway through it. Nice. Excuse me. Very nice. Alright, so let's grab this color's called mustard in this brand of yarn, but it's probably the closest thing that we have to yellow ochre. So still trying to leave it a little bit airy. And this guy's gonna sit in front of the orange one. I'll probably have to add a little bit more to this guy here. But, you know, we'll see. See what happens as we get everybody all attached here. Very nice, very nice. I need to do another contest post. I'll probably schedule it for in the morning, actually. I can't forget to do that. I will be co-hosting with Lita on the show this weekend. So, hopefully that shaman makes it. At least that's gonna be the plan. Oh my gosh, then I'll have just that one and that working man, and I don't really care if the working man makes it or not. I'm not committed to that working man. I was just trying to make some cash on her, thinking that I could grab another token. And then the token prices skyrocketed. I wasn't real happy about that. And then this whole auction house debacle, I'm not happy about either, so. Because I actually don't know when this change took place. It took place somewhere between either level 50 to 51 or 51 to 52. I think it was level 50 to 51 on my pacifist down in front. The one who I had to record and put on YouTube. So I had the chat log open when I was mining and herbing on him, and he's the last one that I had done any sort of gathering with in Shadowlands. And I noticed while we were working on the working man last week that suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, I was getting less ore and less flowers. Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, how did a rich ore vein just give me 2 pieces of ore? Like, what? That doesn't make sense, right? Like, something's not right here. So it happened again and again and again through that session, and the whole time I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, when did this change happen? I know I was getting more than 2. And then the more it kept happening and the more we kept working on the working man through the stream, then in the background I'm like, wait, am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's always been 2. But I'm like, no, it wasn't always 2. It can't be. I really remember seeing like 8 or 10 or 12 pop up. 2 doesn't seem right. And then I noticed that on the flowers and on the flowers that I was getting 1 flower on every flower we picked on the working man, and I was just getting more and more agitated because I'm like, no, that's not right. I should be getting like random 1s or 2s or 3s and not a single flower for every node, not out here. That's not how it was working before. And then I started really second guessing myself. I'm like, did I actually go completely off the deep end and imagine me getting more than 1 flower? More than 1 ore node? Like, I was seriously questioning my sanity. 100%, not joking. I was like, what is this? Because, you know, my memory's not good on a good day. And I was so confused, and I was like really starting to get upset. I'm like, what is going on? I did a Google search, couldn't find anybody else talking about the change, couldn't find it documented anywhere that, oh yeah, this was going to happen. And it seemed to me that it happened around the time that auction house commodities went regional, but it could have happened a little bit sooner than that because of the last time that I gathered ore was several weeks prior. So in that area. So I'm like, I don't know. Then I had, you know, that just drove me absolutely crazy. Couldn't understand. So I was, there we go. Ooh. That one didn't want to let go. Oh, wow. I really didn't want to let go. And that, friends, is why I pull that up so much, because I don't want it getting stuck. That's nice. That's nice. Alright, I'm feeling that. Alright. That was the mustard color. Let's go back for our green on this other guy here. But yeah, I'm driving me nuts, right? So then I'm like, wait, let me go back and look at down in front, right? I didn't have the chat log open for every level. And then I finally found one of the videos from the uploads that I did where I had the chat log open instead of the combat log. And it showed how much ore I was looting when I was gathering a flower node or an ore node. And yeah, I was getting random numbers of flowers, like 3, 2, 4, 3, 1. It was random. Didn't matter the flower. I think Nightshade was always 1. But, it could have been more than 1. But, the others, especially Rising Glory, it was always random. I was like, okay. And then I saw in the recorded leveling session where I hit a rich node for ore. I think it was, I call it last right ore as a joke. I don't know if that's actually how it's pronounced or not, but that's how my brain reads that name. And I watched me mine it, and rich node, 8 pieces of ore. I'm like, okay, at least I know I'm not completely mental. and that I didn't imagine this happening. So I don't know if that was a bug. I guess we'll find out. I haven't had the working man out since. Oh shit, I kind of need to work on them too. I haven't taken them out since. I did finally sell all that effing life root she had, though, the 1,700 pieces that she'd been carrying around from gathering flowers in Western Plaguelands. Finally managed to offload that. I mean, that was extremely helpful. But I decided to come back on the air tonight because we had to cut and run earlier, and I do apologize for that. I had planned to at least get the tree line done, so that Sunday we can start to work on our grass and stuff. This was my main goal for today, so I can't say how long we're gonna go tonight, but I do have some house chores that need doing. And then I have a shaman that desperately needs attention. That's a nice little tree there. Nice little bushy guy. Alright. I am loving this blood orange color though, with the mustard kind of sitting in front of it. That's nice. It is very, very nice. We have like this one little weird awkward branch here. It's kind of poking up funny. But yeah, I'm glad I realized that it wasn't me losing my brain. Because it's been a tough, tired day today. I told him to wake me up early when he was gonna go. So, because I worry when he goes out and adventures alone, and sometimes he needs to ask me questions anyway, or we need to bounce ideas off each other, and I needed to price a few things while we were out anyway. So I was like, well, you know, this will save a trip. And, I laid down around, I want to say like 2:30-ish. Could not sleep. Just couldn't sleep. And I'm like, of course, because I need to be up early. I think I finally fell asleep, when did I finally fall asleep? I think I finally fell asleep around, I want to say, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what color I want to do here next. I think I kind of want to do our dark tree again. Finally fell asleep around 6 a.m. I think it was. And I woke up and the husband was in here, and I was like, oh. He was sitting at his computer doing something, and I'm like, because I was surprised he hadn't woken me up. So I'm like, what time is it? And he's like, it's a little bit after 9. And I was like, okay. So I kind of flopped backwards on my pillows, and I was laying there thinking for a minute. I was like, little after 9. Okay, so let me just kind of lay here for a minute and kind of get my thoughts together, because we were originally talking about waking me up at 10. I was like, just give me a few minutes to take a deep breath and wake up here, and then I'll just drag my ass out of bed a few minutes early and start getting ready. And next thing I know, he touched my arm and scared the ever-living shit out of me. I think I was just about to enter a dream cycle, and I had such a hard time forming coherent thought when after he did that. Like, I was I've been a fucking hot mess all day. I was just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I was doing stuff and not remembering that I did stuff. I was like mid-sentence and just was like, I don't even know anymore, and worse than usual. And oh damn, and when he touched me, I guess he had a hangnail or something that tapped a sensitive part of my arm, and I thought a cat was trying to get me or something. Like, I full on ass gasped. I was like so startled. I was like, oh. He's like, what? He's like, you said you wanted me to wake you up. I was like, what the fuck time is it? He's like, it's a little after 10. It's like, oh my god. Like, I don't even know what the hell's happening. And he's like, I could just go on my own if you want to go back to sleep. And I'm like, no. I don't know if I'll be able to fall back asleep now, as tired as I am. But, like that adrenaline rush of being super fucking exhausted, but yet, you're awake now. Like, I didn't think trying to go back to sleep was going to be all that successful. So I was kind of like, nope, I'm coming. Like, you just gotta give me a few minutes, because I gotta put clothes on, or put going outside of the house clothes on. I have grungy muffin clothes for when I'm just around the house, and who gives a shit if there's like a hole ripped in the collar of the t-shirt from the cat, or there's like paint stained all over it and stuff. Like, those are my grungy muffin clothes. But I have a few clothes that I deem presentable to be worn out in public. So I had to dig a few of those out and get dressed, and that took me a little bit longer than I necessarily wanted it to, but still pretty good time considering what had happened when I got up, and I was just like, oh my goodness. But like the rest of the day, oh shit. We were on our way to the dollar store, Dollar Tree, and I don't know, we were talking about something, and I was like, damn, I haven't even had any caffeine yet. I said, I think I'm gonna need it. So when we got there, I got 2 drinks, and I made some kind of joke where it felt like my brain feels like an totally bored, uninterested babysitter of my body right now. Because my body's just, out here doing whatever the fuck it wants. And I was doing something. I think I was rubbing the back of my hand on Russ's shoulder while he was driving. And he was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, huh? He goes, you're like rubbing? And he's like, if you can't scratch my shoulder. He's like, it's okay. And I was like, huh? Like, I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, sorry. The body's like, woohoo, parents aren't home. And was just throwing a party. Well, the rest of me was just kind of like, what is even happening? What do you mean there's a toad in the pool? Like, just It just kind of continued, like, when we went back out to Walmart to look for something. I was trying to find a snack, and he's like, well, what do you want? And I said, well, I don't know if I want ice cream or this, and he's like, well, you seem really indecisive. I said, yeah, that's because the ice cream's all fucking expensive for the size that we're getting. And half of the shit that was in Walmart for us was like weird ass artisanal ice cream, like specific, like, oh, this foo-fooey brand of ice cream, and I'm like, wait, what is this shit? So do we want this one, or do we want to go with this color again? This color feels more like evergreeny, right? I was like, see, Russell, I told you I can't be trusted to make decisions right now. Because I'm just too damn tired. Like, it's not gonna end well. But at least we got 2 of the things that we need for the Great Gingerbread House project. So I am all sorts of excited about that. I didn't technically have to grab them today. I could have waited another couple of weeks, but I also wasn't sure if they were still gonna have it, because a lot of their crafting section was pretty well massacred. I was just like, wow, where's all the stuff? Like, it almost looked like they were in the middle of moving it, and maybe the new stuff hadn't come back in yet, or it didn't come yet, period. So it was a little extra disheveled. I don't know. Pretty sure that canvas section looked different. I don't remember them having the individual tubes of artist paint, artist acrylics that they had this time, and it looked like it was some kind of like brand that they were considering a Walmart brand. From what I could see, it wasn't Liquitex Basics as far as I could tell, but it was in that kind of clear tube. It was a little bit smaller, but I was trying to read the name on the craft tube and I missed it because we were kind of on a mission, so I didn't want to stick around too long, especially since it was getting to be close to dinner time and traffic, and then we walked out into the effing rainstorm. So I kind of feel like the Lovecraft yarn, the paint box yarn, I feel like that's sinking more deeply through the pad, but I could be mistaken. Just what it kind of feels like. And I mean, that's fine if it is. Yeah, because that's like really... It's really tough to pull up. Being a tough cookie. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna come back in with our orange. Now this is the blood orange in the paint box, Simply Chunky. So getting that worked in there. I almost want to put a little bit of red in there, but I don't know, that might be a little too jarring. You know what I mean? It might just be like, oh, I'm gonna just stare at the red all day, so. This feels like either a very early spring or a very late fall. Because if you look at... Okay, well, when it first started out, like, until he put those trees in the foreground. See, this is what kills me. Like right in here. Let's back it up a bit. Let's back it up a bit. A little bit further. There's an orange floof ball of tumbleweed going across my desk. So like right in here, like when you're kind of, damn it, I keep moving my mouse. Kind of looking up from that angle. If it's gonna show it. Oh, it's not showing that. That's weird. So like, where are we? 725. So if you go to like here, it feels more fall, like early fall, like maybe mid-September, towards the end of September, or like maybe April-y, maybe mid to late April is what it feels like. And that just, he killed all of it in the background when he put those big ash trees in. Like half of the shit's just gone. So I feel kind of bad that happened. So I'm gonna try to not do that because I actually want some of this stuff showing in the background. So we might deviate a little just to make sure we don't lose all of this that we've just worked so hard on getting in here. Because, you know, that would be a shame. After all that. So I'm thinking I might throw a little splotch of yellow on here too. Grab a little bit of the daffodil. No, this isn't daffodil. This is buttercup yellow. They were out of the daffodil one, sadly. So we don't need a whole lot on this because we've got this other guy here. So if we get a little too rambunctious here, we might need to tone that down a little. Let's see what we end up with here. I mean, it might kind of blend in with it, it might kind of not. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so yeah, I'm probably gonna add just a little bit more of the orange, not a whole lot. So we don't want to get too carried away. Probably should have added that yellow like a layer or two down. But that's okay. So we've got something that we can work with there, so that's fine. That's fine. Got quite the reverse image going there, that's for sure. Alright. Now. So this one's kind of springy green. Let's see here. What? Ooh. Okay, no, we're good. For a second there, I thought I had snapped the end of this guy off, but no, we're okay. That was my chair, not a goose. My chair makes goose noises if I lean a certain way. Alright, let's see about getting this shrubbery figured out here. And see what we can do with this. Don't know which way the wind's gonna take us on this one. Pretty. It's a funny shaped shrubbery, huh? Just a bit. Bit more on this guy here. we want it to still be a little bit airy on it, you know. To a degree. There's that cat getting in trouble again. Have you seen Num Nums at all today?
Yeah.
Okay. I meant to ask you that earlier. I was surprised the couple of times that we were in and out that I hadn't seen them at all. Alrighty. So I'm just gonna re-smooth that out on the back. This is a thick boy on the back too, my goodness. My goodness gracious. I'll put that over there before I end up stabbing myself by accident. Okay. Alright, I think we need a little bit. Oh, that one might be alright now. Let's see. We could probably do. Thinking maybe some more yellow. Right? Because you know, decisions. So if we put that on. And this guy. Let's see how this goes. It might surprise us. Maybe. And that's a pretty substantially yellow guy here. We're off to a fairly good start. The true test with the new yarn brand will be when I go to attempt the prototype for the pins. That'll be the real test to see how these yarns do, because those colors, well, at least one of the main colors that I have for them is the new yarn. I gotta figure out if I want to make a stencil or if I just want to trace them all. I might look, if I remember to. Oh shit! Flamingos! Stone! Hi. Thanks for the raid, sir. Appreciate it. Hello, stone friends. Welcome, welcome. I am Nisey for those. Yes, flamingos. Russell did the art on that and put all the animations and stuff together for me. We're leaning hard into the flamingo theme. We can't deny the inner spirit animal flamingo any longer. So for those that don't know me, I am NiseyBGN. I'm a little bit of a variety streamer. We do games some days, and we do art a couple of days a week right now. I'm part of the WoW Challenges community for World of Warcraft, and so Thursdays right now, currently we're streaming the Bloodthirsty Challenge, which we have almost achieved my personal mission in, of getting every class to max level in that challenge. I have 2 classes remaining. Hopefully on this Thursday we will only have 1 class remaining. We'll see how that goes. I still have to finish getting them ready for stream prep. And Friday right now we're doing Planet Zoo, and then Sunday and Monday we are doing art things. So yeah, hope everybody's doing okay. He's hanging in there. It's been a rough couple of everythings, but life's been kicking us in the face repeatedly. But we're trying to hang in there and do all of the things without completely just, you know, screaming into the night. You know how it goes. We have an appointment tomorrow that we're hoping goes well. Well, we hope it goes well in regards to what the appointment needs to do. So, hopefully, fingers crossed that that goes and does what it needs to do. So, because husband's trying to get on disability for his anxiety and his severe anxiety and depression, with a side diagnosis that we didn't even know was there. But yeah, the one doctor dubbed him with an additional diagnosis of autism, which in hindsight makes a lot of sense, but at the time, like, we didn't know that that was also present. But he has a Zoom appointment with one of Social Security's doctors tomorrow. So hopefully that goes well. Keep your fingers crossed for us. We're already on appeal. Lawyer and all that shit. So hopefully they see what they're looking for. So, yes, very much so, because we've been going through the motions for this since March of 2021, pretty much. You got denied the first time you applied, and then 1 year appeal. Yeah, that's what we hear from a lot of people. I know it's different in Canada, but I imagine it's still sort of the same basic process. But we got a denial letter that said that we failed to turn in paperwork that they requested, but we never got the request for the paperwork. So we were really confused. We didn't know if they mailed something to us and we never received it, because our mail got a little funny for a few days, or if it got delivered to someone else, or if they were just talking out their ass to see if we were going to try to appeal. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, so we got that going on tomorrow, so hopefully that goes well. And all that stuff. So we are needle felting right now. So you get your roving, usually traditionally, which is like wool fiber before it's turned into yarn. I do the reverse of it for the like 90% of the colors I use are I take yarn. Can you toss me one of those balls of yarn next to you in that bucket?
I'm sorry, you just want any random ball?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just take the paper off, they're not secured on it. Okay, so I take yarn and I cut out strips of it and then I brush it with a sticker brush. This bad boy of doom. He's kind of big. I could have probably gotten a smaller one, but this was all they had at the store when I went shopping. And so you're kind of like undoing the braided twist of the yarn strand and you're putting it back to its pre-yarn state. So you can do this with acrylic yarn. I don't know if you can do it with any of the other types of fiber. I mean, obviously probably wool, but I don't know if you can do it with cotton though. I haven't tried it, but I've heard people say you can do it with acrylic yarn, and obviously you can because I'm doing it. But it takes a little bit to prep it, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than going the full-on wool roving route. Because the wool roving that I've seen, it's like 2 of these sized bags. Let me see here. Where did was that in this? No, it's in this container. Like, I've seen, like, these size bags, like this much roving, go for, like, $5 a piece. That's not very much, and that's very expensive. So, I'll spend, you know, between $2 to $5 on a poof of yarn, and I've barely made a dent in this. So like these guys I got on sale for $1.99. We've hardly gone through any of it. This is like a 380 yard bundle of yarn, so it goes a lot further. So you need a piece of base. I think you can use linen, maybe. I don't quote me on that, but I use felt squares. And then you get your felting needles. These are very sharp. These are like, oh god, I have to go to the emergency room to get this removed from my hand because I impaled myself sharp. So yeah, it's way more cost effective. More time consuming in prep, but way more cost effective. So these needles, I don't know, it's not going to pick it up, is it? Let me see. Where's my camera? There's little tiny, see the little bright spots on that needle? It's going to be hard to see. Those are notches cut into the needle that when you stab it through the fluff, it grabs the little fibers on it and then goes down through your felt base and then kind of mushes it all together. This is what the backside looks like. I do dry needle felting. Some people do wet needle felting, and that's a whole ass thing. I admire those that can do it. I just, that you definitely need to do the wool roving for, because when the wool gets wet, it sticks to itself. This stuff doesn't, the acrylic yarn doesn't really stick to itself as well. So I don't think it would work the same way. So if you do the wet needle felting, and I don't know that much about it. I know it involves like a screen, I think, and maybe some like water, obviously. I can't remember if soap is involved. I think it is. And you're just kind of like constantly moving it like on the screen to try to form a picture. The one time I saw somebody doing it in a video, it reminded me of someone making paper. And I was just like, wow, that's a whole ass lot. But it might not quite be that bad, but yeah, no, I can't afford to go straight with the wool roving, so at least not right now. Not for the amount of colors I need. I mean, I have half of a wall in our bedroom with nails in the wall and Ziploc bags clipped to string running between the nails. I call it my wall of fluff. So, I think 50, oh no, it wasn't 50. Say like $40 got me 17 colors of yarn from the one supplier. And then we hit that, that New Year's sale, and we had gotten like another 23 colors of yarn back in January for like $1.99 a piece. So I think that was like another $40 there. So I'm trying to think of how much shipping was and taxes and all that. But yeah, so we're basically putting the fluff down and stabbing it through, and it's merging and weaving all of the layers together, and so it's not coming off. So that becomes one piece there. We've done a few other pieces. A couple things were my own brainchild, and I had originally gotten the idea of, hey, you always see so many people, you know, doing videos of painting along with Bob Ross painting tutorials. You know, some people try to do them blindfolded, some people try to do it under certain lighting conditions where they can't tell what shade the paint is, and they're just guessing because somebody else puts it on their painting palette for them, and so they have no idea what the color is supposed to be. Like, they'll do it like under red light, and red messes with the shades of the colors of what you think they are, and they're not really. I've seen somebody actually mix frosting colors and paint on a canvas with like cake frosting, following a Bob Ross tutorial, which I thought that was definitely different. I don't know how she kept it from cracking and falling off of a canvas, because she did do it on a canvas instead of a sheet cake. I would have done it on a sheet cake, but I was just like, wow, okay. But I've never seen anybody try to follow along with his stuff with this, and I was like, you know, that could be kind of cool. Time consuming, because this is definitely a lot slower than paint, but we've already followed a few of the tutorials with the oil paint, so I was like, let's change it up. So I don't have quite the same colors that he does, and we're doing fluff yarn fiber, so it doesn't blend like paint does. So when you put two colors together, you're just gonna have a variation of seeing the two colors through each other, instead of it blended into a whole new color with how I'm doing it. And so it's like, okay, so I kind of have to pre-watch what he's doing and then try to make sure I have a close enough color to after he's put it on the canvas. So this is a whole little bit of a hot mess down in here. Because he mixed like 3 different colors and got this weird ass shade of like dead grass brown. And I'm like, how? What? I don't have that color. And I didn't want to go with the real dark brown that I have that looks like his go-to color of Van Dyke brown, because that's going to come into play later. And I was like, well, maybe we can find something else. And then I go back after we got all this in, and I'm looking at the tutorial again, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't even need to do it. We could have just fucking skipped this whole step, because it all gets covered up with another shade. So I'm like, right, Bob, thanks so much. But he was all over the place in this one. He like put all of this stuff in the background, and then he covered it all up with like trees in the front. I'm like, but your tree line looks so good back there, buddy. Why? I don't understand. So we're making this kind of wispy and airy on purpose. We want the other whatever's happening in the background to kind of shine through a little bit. And just kind of get that all stabbed in through there. I'm using a foam. No. Let me hang on. Words. I've had like 3 hours of sleep today. I'm using a felting mat. I don't use the foam felting mats because they're very scritchy, and that's the only word I can think of to describe it, to one's ears. It kind of sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me, but my ears are extremely sound sensitive. So I'm like, that's no. Like, not really fan belt squeal, but close. So this is much softer and gentler and kind of sounds like walking through gravel or like snow crunching. I'm okay with this sound. This sounds okay. This sounds a little more organic and gentle, if you will. The needle through the foam, and it hurts. I have a foam square, so I could demonstrate it, but I mean, I've done that before, but I don't want to blow anybody's ears out, so I mean, you know, I'll spare you guys today, unless you really want to hear it, but it is quite a difference in sound. And I know some people use like foam sheets that you can use for house insulation, like in the walls. I don't want to go through all that. My work surface isn't quite big. I'm sure I could cut it down. But I don't know if you really should be stabbing this needle through that, because it's gonna, you know, break down that foam pad after a while. That's another reason why I didn't want to do the foam pads. You're constantly stabbing into it, and the foam's gonna end up breaking down, so it's gonna be one of those pains in the ass things where you constantly have to replace it every so many months. This is the same pad that we've been using since December. And it's still in pretty good shape. Again, this is something that I'm doing just to get everything laying flat again, so it doesn't make any peaks and valleys like it can as we're doing it. I just find it keeps the front a bit flatter in the long run. Alright. And be careful if you're swinging this guy around. Don't be like me and be like, you know, put it down and stab it through the mat that you're using, so that way it doesn't roll away and you grab the needle half, because this thing can and will go in your finger. That's coming from experience. So I haven't had it go completely through my finger. I have pinpricked it though, and that hurts enough. But I've heard stories where some people have like fully impaled their finger, and I don't. You'd probably have to go to the emergency room, because the little notches in there trying to remove it would not be fun. So you might need medical assistance on that one. But yeah, it's like, oh no, that's okay. That's okay. I can live without that. I'm good. I'm good. But definitely use the finger protectors. I actually kind of want a whole glove of this, because I have a bad habit of putting these two on my finger, and this is like leather just protectors, so that if you accidentally pinprick, as long as you're not like slamming down with the needle, if you're going too hard you will go through this, but if you're doing it gentle you'll just kind of have a glancing blow off of it. But I have a habit of putting these down, putting these on my fingers, and then I'm like, oh, I can't really bend my fingers. Let me use a different finger. And I'm like, no, dumbass. You need to get the unprotected finger out of there. I don't know, for some reason I'm like, oh, I can't move these fingers, so I can't use them. Because, you know, my brain is terrible. Alright, so we're just working on getting enough of this color built up. This color's kind of pastel-y. This melon sorbet, this pale orange color. So kind of need to do a few layers on him, especially we have it stretched out, and we don't have it layered up on top of itself too much, because I kind of want some of that underlying color to shine through, just to kind of give it more of a shrubbery appearance, I guess. So we can see some of the dark shadows and the branches that got put in ahead of time. I mean, it's kind of working. We're gonna finish up these trees. Sunday we'll put the grass in, and as we start to, like, I've got these in here, right? And you can see they're on like funky angles. That's because this is like supposed to be coming down. It's like supposed to be like a hill, like, hilly up here, and then like down into a little crevicey area. It'll make more sense as we go. It always looks like a hot mess in the beginning when we're doing this, but I'm so excited. I cannot wait to do our Christmas project. I cannot wait. That is going to be fun. I've got the base for it. I've got the styrofoam cone for the tree. It is going to be fantastic. So I'm saying it's going to be fantastic, and I've never done this, so at least not the project that I'm going to attempt. So it'll probably be a whole ass disaster, but we're going to try to needle felt a 3D. In the end, it'll be a 3D gingerbread house. But I'm not going to make it a solid house. Oh, that's right. I was thinking about getting polyfill to stuff it inside to keep it from collapsing. Well, you know what? It's going to be sewed on. Sorry, I'm arguing with myself about how I was going to do it. But, well, I don't really think I need the polyfill. I think that would be overkill. But, I'm going to take felt squares. I'm not going to do a solid felted house, like with a, like, not like a figurine house. It's going to be like 4 walls and a roof, yo. So I'm gonna take some felt squares and get the sizing as close as I can to the similar. I'm sure it's gonna be a little off and look a little janky, but you know what all gingerbread houses do, so. And I'm gonna get some embroidery floss and we'll sew everything together and try to needle felt what looks like icing dripping off the roofs and stuff. And I got the styrofoam cone, so we're gonna turn that into a needle felted Christmas tree, or at least around the outside, because I didn't want to. I could have done a solid core of wool roving that one of my friends sent me that she wasn't going to be using, and I just didn't want to waste that much of it because it was going to be a lot. So I just got a styrofoam cone just to kind of speed the process up, just to wrap the fluff around it to attach it to. And I'm gonna get some LED Christmas lights, like a mini set, like a short set, like 35 lights on it or something, and wrap that around the tree when we're done decorating it and whatnot. And pretty sure I have a gingerbread cooking cutter somewhere that we can use as a template to get the shape of the gingerbread person correct. And we can put a couple of those guys wandering around in the snow in front of the house. And of course, because today I had thought about it, we have to keep the theme going with the flamingos. I'm going to attempt to do a gingerbread flamingo or two to put in the front yard along the walkway, because, you know, you gotta. So it's going to be a multi-week project, and I feel like I'm not going to be done in time, but if I actually get my Twitch payout next month, then we'll have time to do it. If not, I might have to do, if I don't get the money till October, then I'll have to work on a little bit of it off stream, and if I have to do that, I'll record that, and we can throw that up on the YouTube channel if need be. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to do most of it on the live stream where I can. I gotta remember I need to get sewing needles. I need to make a shopping list. But we've got the base styrofoam to work on to put everything set up on. I might cut that down just a little bit. It's a little long. I don't think it's gonna fit in the work area here. My work area is very tiny. It's the one thing I'm concerned about. Is having enough room to record putting the whole damn thing together and still being able to see the chat. I might have to set up a secondary craft table behind me, and I don't know if I have enough wire on this camera for that to work though. We had a USB extender cable, but I don't know if it's in my possession or if it's in the husband's possession, or if it's in the mass of wires that's behind my computer monitor that I'm side-eyeing at the moment. Or it could be in one of our buckets of wires that just accumulated. We have it somewhere because I've used it before. I just don't know where it is at the moment. I mean, I guess I could drag that out, but I won't be able to see the chat if I do that. I'll have to make sure that Russell is watching chat to tell me to turn around and answer people. So I kind of have to sit sideways, I guess, from where I am, because the mic's only gonna reach so far, and I don't want to be talking completely away from it, because, you know, things and stuff. Oh, Momo's dreaming again. He's borking and asleep. Dog's barking in his sleep, growling in his sleep. It's so cute when he wags his tail, though. Sorry, Twitch got a little funny there. I'm like, dashboard, why are you buffering? So we have Momo who wags his tail in his sleep, barks and growls. The little tiny baby barks, like woof, woof, woof. He actually woke himself up once because he got really loud, and I was like, what is happening? I was like, are you okay? And he's just looking at me confused, like, what? But he won't bark when somebody knocks on the door. I'm like, really? I've had a lot of people trying to sell stuff lately. Door to door. Like services and whatnot. I got stuck dealing with the one person. And I was not amused. And I don't know if the dude was just having a long day or just wasn't cut out, or maybe it was his first day. I don't know. But usually the seasoned people are like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm with X company. How are you today? Do you have a minute to discuss X issue? And I open the door and the dude's standing there in what looks to be some sort of professional uniform. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, hey, we were doing some jobs in the area today, and we have a few open slots for tomorrow that we're trying to fill. And I'm like, uh-huh. And I'm like waiting for him to get to the fucking point. And he's like, are you the homeowner? And I'm like, no. Oh, well, can I talk to them? No, dude, she's not here. Oh, well, you know, will she be back later tonight? Will she be back tomorrow? No, dude, she's, like, really not here. She won't be back till, like, a month and a half from now. Oh, well, are you renting here? No, I'm family, and I'm just taking care of the property while she's gone. Like, I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, what the fuck are you trying to sell me? And he's like, oh, well, I'm with, you know, wanted to see, you know, if you're using anybody for pest control services. And I'm just like, still has not said the name of the company. So I'm starting to get, like, really kind of, like, sketchy sus radar going off. And I'm like, uh-huh. And he's got, like, a clipboard up against his chest. Is like one of the clipboards that you can open and has stuff inside of it. It kind of looks like a legit professional clipboard, but anybody can fucking go to Office Max and get one of those, or Depot, whatever the fucking one's still in business. And I'm just looking at this dude and I'm like, uh-huh. And he's kind of looking around a little bit, and he's like, okay. And he's like, well, I said, we really don't have the money for pest services right now. We're really not interested. I can tell you right now, she's not going to be interested. If she was here, and she's not. He was just asking, like, weird-ass questions, and I'm just like, I was starting to get the vibe that he was, like, casing the joint. I don't think he was, but that's what it was starting to feel like. And I'm like, dude, you're like, ticking off every alarm bell box in my brain. What the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, no, we're really not interested. And, we have a sign on our door that says, beware of attack squirrel. And the effing outdoor cat that thinks he lives here was walking around this guy. And I was like, well, he's kind of our pest control service right now, and all I have to do is feed him, so he's a lot cheaper. And we don't have the money for any professional service right now. Okay, thanks. And I'm like, I was in the middle of working on a fucking Challenger too, so I was like really getting kind of wiggy. I'm like, I don't want to be away from the keyboard this long. I mean, I was in an area killing neutral mobs, so I knew I was okay. But there's always that thought in my mind that somebody's gonna try to fuck with me when I step away. Alright, you have a good one. Thank you for popping in. Go stretch and hydrate and potty and snack and all that shit. Thank you for stopping by. Much appreciated. I know what it's like to need to raid and run, so if you guys gotta do that, it's perfectly fine. At the end of my stream, I want to eat or I have to pee. But, he was just being so weird. And then he went back and got in his car. He never said the name of the company. He was like, oh, so we have a sign that says, beware of attack squirrel on the door. And he's like, so, where's your attack squirrel? And I'm like, he's asleep. I should have said the cat ate him. But, you know. Dude was, like, really upsetting me. And I'm like, uh-huh, right. So after he vanished, I kind of went and found Russell, and Russell's like, why didn't you come get me? I was like, because you went to bed early. It was like 7:30, 8, no. What time was it? It was, I think, going on like 8 o'clock. It was late to be going door to door, which also surprised me. I thought it was my mom knocking on the door telling me to come feed the cat outside, to be perfectly honest, because she's done that before. And, so Russell came outside, and he was kind of hanging around on the front porch for a few minutes. And the guy, like, Russell's, like, telling me to describe the guy. I'm like, I don't fucking know. He had a hat on. He had, like, a white shirt. I was more focused on his white shirt because there was, like, some patches on there that could have been legit. But, you know, anybody can sew a fucking patch on a shirt. So I was like, I don't know what this is about, man. What is happening? And we didn't have our camera up. We have an outdoor security camera that we use to watch for noises on the porch, so we can just check the camera. Because sometimes you can't see the full length of the porch. So we had taken it down, and the camera was actually in the attic because we heard the mice up there come back. Turned out it was only 2, and we got rid of them super fast. So we didn't really need the camera up there anymore. So Russell's like, alright, fuck it, I'm putting the camera back up right now. And he did that. And Russell saw the dude drive away, and I think he was like trying to look at his license plate number on his car, and he's like, alright. The guy did come back the next day and park over there again, and apparently he was walking back down the street, I guess trying to go door to door again. And my effing mother was sitting on the front porch, smoking a cigarette, and I guess the dude waved to her, so she waved back, and then he starts to come across the street, and he's like, oh, are you the homeowner? And I'm like, it's like, Mom, don't. I was like, I already told this asshole no, that the homeowner was not here. I guess he thought I was fucking lying to him. I'm like, no, she ain't fucking homeowner. I was just like, Jesus Christ. The other night we had somebody knock on the door, Russell answered it this time. And Russell doesn't give a shit, so... And it was kind of late to be knocking on people's doors. Especially considering our car had been here, like, all day, so I was like, what is with people knocking after 7 p.m. on the doors? Like, what the fuck? And, dude's like, hi, I'm so-and-so with some company, something with a V. Vita, Vista, I don't know what the fuck it was. And Russell's like, yeah, cool, not interested, sorry. And he was like going to shut the door. He goes, but you don't even know what we do. And he goes, yeah, it doesn't matter, I'm not interested. And he like just fucking slammed the door. And I'm like, fair. and Russell's like, I have no fucks left to give, I don't care. And then he was going back and rewatching the camera playback, because we have it set to ping on certain areas to record like 30 seconds of stuff with the version that we have. And he was watching the notification of the dude stepping onto the porch. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, cool, he noticed the camera. And I was like, how do you know he noticed the camera? And he's like, because he looked to the corner where the camera's plugged in, and then you could see his eyes following it up the side of the porch, and then to the unit itself. So I'm like, okay, sure. But now he knows where it is to unplug it too. I mean, it's in a fucking bright orange cord, so, you know, it ain't fooling nobody. There's definitely a cord there. But we have a doorbell that has been there since I don't know when. Like, it was there when Russell and his mom bought the house. It's not attached to anything. It's a fake doorbell. I don't know if it was, like, attached to a remote Wi-Fi thing at one point. I don't know. Because there's nothing in this place that indicates it's hooked up or was once part of a doorbell system. And I'm just like, because we pressed it a couple times and we're like, there's no doorbell going off. Like, what? Like, it looks like it's hardwired into the house though, so we're so confused. We're like, what is this shit? And don't know. It's a mystery doorbell. I guess it's just there for show. Maybe the person that put it in really was that dumb and didn't realize it had to be attached to a sound box somewhere. I don't know. But it's very strange that it doesn't go to anything. What do you think? What do you think? Should we go with the hunter green again on this last tree? Or do we want to go with the yellowy ochre one? I feel like we've got this big guy over here, right? Hang on, I've got the tutorial in the way. So, there we go. Now we can see. Now I can see. So we've got the big guy over here, and he's like dark and rich in his greenness. And then we've got this guy here, right? So, I mean, I kind of want to do, like, I kind of want to put the dark green here just so it feels a little more balanced, maybe. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So, grab some more hunter green fluff. I'm using 2 different brands of yarn here. And I gotta say, the super chunky from Paintbox feels much softer than, I mean, it feels softer to me. I have a thing with textures. but that's too much. But I don't know if it would feel that soft to somebody else, but I feel definitely a difference in softness between the two. Which kind of surprises me because I use the same brush, but they are like different companies that made them. I was fascinated though. Oh, hey! You know, I almost wonder. I wonder if these are the same yarn. And just the one's a little more combed out than the other. Hey, husband, come here. Put your hand in this bag. Where are you?
Okay.
Feel that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, put your hand in this bag. Are they the same yarn? Or is the yellow one softer?
It's the same.
Like
They feel the same to me.
The yellow feels just slightly silkier, but...
Not when I actually put my hand in it and compress it in some degree.
I just noticed these were both made in Turkey. So that's why I'm like, I wonder if it's the same parent company.
Ah, it could be.
Because I think... I'm not certain, but I think Paintbox might be like the main brand that Lovecraft sells. And Big Twist, which is the other yarn brand that I've got here, that is the house brand of Joanne Fabrics. So I do wonder if it's just this main company in Turkey, because I've not seen any other yarns that I've noticed made in Turkey. So I wonder if they're the same manufacturer, like the same main one. I'll have to look at the rest of the label, or maybe do some internet searching. It's not that big of a deal, but sometimes I get off on these tangents in my brain and I'm like, I need to know. But that's kind of neat, because I've not noticed many yarns made in Turkey, right? Like, I remember saying to Russell, look, something's not made here. It's like a lot of stuff that you see, especially in the craft industry, a lot of it's made in China and in Taiwan and stuff, because they can do it faster and cheaper over there. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Whatever. You run your company how you want to run your company. I just found it slightly amusing that both brands of yarn that were from seemingly, as far as I knew, two separate entities were made in the same country. I'm just like, hey, that's kind of funny. So I do wonder if it's the same parent manufacturer that made both of them. Kind of like how the name brand milk and the off-brand milk are both bottled in the same place, you know, that kind of thing. We actually had one employee, or one cashier at Walmart. Now, we've worked for Walmart before, in the grocery section, both of us. And we've tried the Walmart brand whole milk. And we've tried the one dairy company, Highlands brand of whole milk. And this lady's trying to tell us, oh, they're bottled in the same place. That's the same exact milk. You should get the Walmart brand. It's cheaper. And Russell and I are like, uh-huh. And we walked out the store and he's like, it is not the same fucking milk. They taste entirely different. I was like, yeah, I know, because we bought the Walmart one by accident one day. And, because they look almost identical if you're in a hurry and you're not paying attention, because they both have red labels on them. And it's only slightly different for the name brand dairy compared to the Walmart dairy. And they're not the same milk. They might be bottled in the same place, but they do not taste the same. we think the Walmart brand might have slightly less milk fat or something to it, but they are not the same milk. I'm like, okay, well then, you know, maybe you're not as sensitive to the difference in taste, but we are, and it's not. Something's different. I'm sorry, but something's different. Alright, so we got this going. Okay, so we just have to put in our dusty green. I gotta find out what this shade's called. And write it on its little color number. I saved the little color numbers in the UPCs and I put them in the little yarn bags, but for some reason on that one I did not save, or I did not look up the color. I guess I was being lazy and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not looking that up. But let me see if I can find the email. What is this? There it is. Wait, is that it? No, that's not it. That's the pastel-y one. What number is this? 326. This is slate green. I think I called it slate green, and then I second-guessed myself. And I'm like, no. Alright, so let's write that down right now. S-A-T-E. I have to let that dry for a minute, because this pen ink likes to smear. Found that out the hard way too. I wrote it out and I let it sit for a second and I went to grab it to put it in its bag, and then I'm like, wait, why is it all like weird and like it looks dirty. And then I looked at my finger and it looked like my finger was like doing stamps of the letters everywhere, and I'm like, oh, the ink wasn't dry. Fun! So, got that going on. Just kind of let that chill for a second there. I would have just done this color, but this color is really hard to see. When we tried to do it on this tree. Like, I mean, you can kind of see it in the background where that was the first color we laid down. But, I think it's because the background is so light that this shade just kind of melted into it a bit too much. Alright, so we'll get that all worked in there. Alright, so before I forget, oh god, I saw the text on my placemat and I thought I had text up on the screen that I forgot to drop from earlier. I was like, really? I'm good at doing that, but before I forget, for anybody that plays the WoW Iron Man Challenge, we currently have a contest going on over there. A hunter leveling contest to celebrate the 7th anniversary of the podcast. There are certain restrictions on what races you can play. All those details are over on the WoW Challenge's website. That contest is running until September 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern. So basically, start of show is the hard stop. You need to have been logged out and updated by then, before 7 p.m. So probably like 6:55 or whatever. And because that report's gonna run at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. on the dot. And if you haven't logged out and updated by then, you might not get the proper credit for your level, for your correct level. Up for grabs is 2 months. Two months of game time for first place. 2nd through 10th place finishers will be entered into a random drawing to receive a pet from the in-game Blizzard store. Has to be a digital pet. I'm not talking trading cards or anything like that. Nothing from auction house. It's an in-game Blizzard store pet. And usually it's, you know, one of your choosing. I think, what, the pets are like max $10 or something. And there's 2 drawings. So 2 drawings, 1 winner each drawing, 1 pet per winner. So like basically, you know, you get the idea. Still plenty of time to enter. Anybody's race wide open right now. I think first place is currently level 20 something. The last time I checked, like 24 maybe. Oh, now I want to check. I want to see. I haven't checked in on it much today because I've been so busy. Let's see. I did a promo post for it in the wee hours of the morning, I think, after I did a max level bright up post. Let me see. Oh, okay. I'm way wrong. First place is currently level 36. Second place is currently 32. And third place is 22. We currently have 8 live contestants. We've had 3 challengers succumb to mobs out in the wilderness there so far. So if you or any of your friends used to do the contests before, go ahead and stop by the website, it's wildchallenges.com, to give that a looky-loo. Like I said, still plenty of time. There is currently 11 days, 20 hours, 3 minutes, and 38 seconds left in the contest. We've got a little countdown guy ticking away. Alright, y'all. There's our tree line. Or shrubbery line. You know, I feel like this guy needs a little bit more. Like, I've been looking at him. He feels a little sad. I think we need to give him just a little bit more love here. I still kind of feel like that one's a little light too, but I think we'll leave that be. I don't want to darken it too much because then it's just going to be like this peachy apricot monstrosity that just doesn't seem to go. So we're gonna leave it alone at the tone that it is and pretend it's like a very light brown, even though it's more of like an orange tone. Okay. Alright, that's a little better. Alright, so we got our background tree line done. And there we go. I'm a little zoomed in, so it's not half bad. It's coming together. So we'll be doing art again on Sunday. So in the afternoon at some point. The start times vary. I try to go live by 4 p.m. Depends on what time I've gotten up as to what time we go live. Sleep and I don't get along. I'm reverting back to a graveyard shift sleep schedule. So, but, you know, I try to at least go late afternoon, early evening at the absolute latest. So don't forget to follow on all the socials. The Twitter, the YouTube, the Insta, the Kofi, all that shit. I don't have a TikTok, though. Sorry, that's not gonna happen. But I always post on the Twitter when we're about to go live, so you can follow there, or you can turn your notifications on here and give a follow here. It is free to follow here, and it is free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Nudge nudge, wink wink, poke poke, all that. We archive most of the live streams over there, and you might see a project pop up that wasn't live streamed every so often as well. So next stream for me is going to be Thursday afternoon at some point where we're going to be doing World of Warcraft while Challenge is leveling. Like I said, we're going to be working on those last 2 bloodthirsty classes that I need to complete. Hopefully the Shaman will hit 60 this week. I hope. Fingers crossed. And then we have the Warrior, and we might try to get done some leveling on the Working Man if we have time. Friday, like I said, we're working on Planet Zoo. We'll be starting our zoo entrance on that random wheel spin that we got the entrance off of last week. Saturday, there will be no live stream because I don't tend to live stream on Saturday anyway because I'm busy doing post-podcast stuff for Lita for the Wild Challenges podcast, but I'm actually helping her co-host this week. So I will be on the show, hopefully discussing the Shaman. And then Sunday and Monday, we'll be back on our needle felting project. So that's the stream schedule for the week. I hope everybody has a good week. Fingers crossed that things go well in the morning. I hope you all have a great week. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the raid stone. I know you left, but thank you anyway. And all that stuff. Let's see. Let me see. I don't think anybody I know is going. Oh, hey, Movies. Movies is going. We'll go raid Movies. He's playing Minecraft. It's been a while since I've popped in to see him. It's been a while since I've played Minecraft, actually. I need to get back into Michael's Minecraft. It's been a hot minute since I've had time. So let's go say hi to Movies, and you all have a great week, and I hope to see you later.